Two teams that met back in Super Bowl 37 in San Diego. The Bucs and Raiders are underway.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G. Last year, when he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. For Las Vegas,
down the numbers. There he goes.
He's on his way. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs, 76 yards. And the Raiders are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Josh McDaniels, he's got faith in his offense, and he's going to have him go for 2.
Hey, come on.
Garoppolo looking to throw for. That's caught. And it's very quickly 8-0.
Tell you what, they're not messing around. You get the quick touchdown, and then you go for 2 to go up 8-0 here on the road.
In a sense, they hit him with a big shot right away. You don't throw a jab after you throw the haymaker, right? Go ahead and go for 2. They did. They're in control.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result.
Now White lost the football,
but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made back at the 37-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Here we go.
Garoppolo going to stay on the field with the Raider offense. They'll go for 2.
He'll look to throw. He's got it at the 2. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. Oh, good move.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, this run defense gets an F so far. They're letting this guy carve them to shreds in the first quarter of play. He's already hit the 100-yard mark.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Baker Mayfield going to lead his offense back out there. And he's been loose with the football early. Interceptions on the first couple of drives. As they start again here, we'll see if he can do better. 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Opting to run again here with White. And running with power here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Point it right. Done.
1st down, here's White. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White, 52 yards. And the Bucs have cut it back within a score.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. We are in for a good one as we're through. 2nd quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it as we resume action. McLaughlin now to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Garoppolo. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. Now he's into the clear again. Touchdown Raiders. Josh Jacobs on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And
And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of... And now the rookie's free. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the...
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Jacorian Bennett has it.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
21. Roll, fellas. Here we go. Set up.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. A strong running. They find some open field here.
There he goes again. Inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Josh Jacobs, 64 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a toss right side with White. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders Raiders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish,
21,
right?
21.
So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
White. Black.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
What a spin. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
195 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
11.
Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. A gain of 3, second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead,
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bucs are going to get the football here at their own 23.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
and to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, why we look at the defense? They came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Garoppolo on 1st down. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 36-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Las Vegas, 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, alert! 13! 13! Two! Block!
They'll run right here with Jacobs. Down inside the 20. Wow, 204 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. And he finds Mayer here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So we've reached halftime. And apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. Third quarter action ready to go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Baker Mayfield leading the Buccaneer offense out for another series. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Alert!
They go right back to White here on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And now here is another interception. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be an even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete to Adams. Touchdown! Davante Adams from 21 yards away. And the Raiders take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raiders heading out to take over. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here we go.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
11. Go ahead.
Myers in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Garoppolo now. Open man is Myers. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. There's Garoppolo to throw. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Man, 222 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Once again, it's Jacobs. Taking it right down Broadway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 45 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
White running to the left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Going right side is White. Runs through the contact. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Rashad White, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs get a bit closer.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offense has spent a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to move. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Fights loose. Up to the 20.
Hey, come on.
He was brought down by Carlton Davis. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Here we go.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
21. Stand hot.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Here we go. And the Raiders first down.
21. White.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. To the 43, 2nd down.
Here we go.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
2 yards on the pickup.
11.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
It's a loss of a yard.
On play action, now Garoppolo. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
First down, Las Vegas.
Hey, alert! 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 13, 2. Hit hot.
This to Jacobs on the toss right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Levante David in on the tackle. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And the Raiders are going to have a first and goal. It's some good running there. Gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble?
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think
fighting through it, he's got space. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
A first down throw from Mayfield. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts...
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
Here we go.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down.
Play action. Garoppolo. Looking deep for Adams.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Mayfield on first down.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got a man, complete.
He's to the 15.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. And the pass falls incomplete. So 5 seconds remaining now in this first half.
Chase McLaughlin, the kickoff for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early.
But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into